Good morning. This is a reflection on lesson 105 of A Course in Miracles. It says, God's peace and joy are mine. God's peace and joy are mine. First of all, the way I talk about God is not in terms of his, him, hers, it's like God is the source of everything, all creation. It's this, I don't have an image of God in my mind that is in the vision of a human form or concept. I think of it. You know what really resonates with me? I don't know why I'm feeling called to talk about this. I think because some of these, the way that this book talks about God, it has to say, it has to give it a pronoun, and it always uses his, which is kind of like, for me, it's like something I'm getting over probably from my own religious aversion through life, which was dominated by male figures. So anyway, that's my journey. But what really resonates with the way I think about God, in verse 1, chapter, hold on. Okay, I'm back. I pulled up different versions of Genesis 1 in the Bible. And I love parts of the Bible for its poetic nature. And so this one says, in the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. That's not the moving part to me. The next, Genesis 1:2 is probably my favorite Bible verse because I don't know very many. I know none. So yeah, this is my favorite. It's like opening a book and being like, oh my God, that first sentence is amazing. Close the book. Done. I got what I needed. So anyway, and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. Oh, when I really feel into that, sometimes I just break down crying because the essence of God hovering above the face of the waters. And it's not a literal, the Bible isn't literal when it talks about this. Now that's the King James Version. The new, NIV, I don't know what these things mean. New International Version says, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Now the earth was formless and empty. Darkness was over the surface of the deep, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the waters. I think I like the King James poetic version better. And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was, it's like italicized, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. And so there's something about that was that's calling out to me this time, like when things were dark and void, meaning the void of, people talk about what was there before all of this. It was a void, an absence, like a void of pure potential, like it was just humming, waiting to burst forth into all of this. And so God, the Spirit of God, moved upon the face of the waters, which was moved through the void. It was like God, the essence of creation, was moving in that void of pure potentiality. And but yeah, the visual of let's say there's a vast ocean. Let's say you're standing on a shore, because I've thought about this when I was down in Costa Rica, literally walking on the beach at 5 a.m. when it's still dark and you still have the starlight. And then way off in the distance, the peak of sunrise, when the sky turns from that deep midnight blue black into a slightly more vibrant version of blue. You can tell, oh, that's not black, it's actually navy. And it's turning different shades of blue, but it's just at the very beginning because the sunrise is coming. And then I look out over the ocean and it's so still, right? It's just where I was down in Costa Rica, it's just this bay. So there's a stillness of the waters. It's not this kind and big waves or anything, because it's a calm bay. And I thought about that. And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. I just had this visual of God's essence just hovering there. Oh, the hovering is the word. God, I don't even think it says hovering, does it? Yeah, the new NIV version says, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the waters. So I kind of wish I could marry these two versions, the wordage, the way they phrase it, because like the hovering is the potential, right? Like when you're hovering over something, you're like, I'm going to dream this into existence. I'm just going to. And so the stillness of that void potential and God just hovering there, like this creation essence, just like, oh, I don't know what it is about that. Oh, it just moves me. And so, how does that relate to this lesson 105, God's peace and joy are mine? Well, let's find out, because I don't know how I would make those connections if it weren't meaningful to me. So this lesson is about God's peace and joy are yours. It is impossible that one can gain because another loses. That's the thing that jumped out at me, because it's like reflecting on where have we denied or withheld peace and joy to other people. It says to reflect on that, because it's everyone's birthright. And if it's like, if we're not giving it, it's because we feel like we don't deserve it either. So that's the reflection piece. But it says it's impossible that one can gain because another loses. So if I give, like we have this fear of giving as if we're going to lose a piece of something that we have. And it's like, no, the gifts of God actually grow by giving. And that's what the Course in Miracles in the very beginning talks about. Like a miracle doesn't deplenish. Is that a word? Deplenish? That has to be a word, right? It doesn't reduce by giving miracles out. It's not like you have only one little bag of miracles and like, oh, I gotta like be stingy about it, be discerning about who gets my love and peace and joy, you know. It's like, no, it's like endless, and miracles actually grow by giving. So that's the nature of miracles, which all boil down to love and peace and joy. Like when I give love, does it feel like, oh man, now I don't have as much? Oh, it hurt. Like I feel like there's a hole in me because I gave love to somebody. No, we know instinctually that's false. And so that's what this is talking about. It's like no matter, like all the joy and the peace and the love, all those high vibration emotions and energies, like they don't deplenish. I'm just going to say that's a word. That's got to be a word. By giving, they replenish. So it says, God's gifts will never lessen where they are given away, but they but increase thereby. Language. God's gifts will never lessen when they are given away. They don't decrease when you give them. Somebody said, it's not pie, and it isn't pie. They increase. They don't decrease. And so it says, if you feel like you've been withholding, reflect on that, because it's probably something to do with, well, I don't feel worthy of receiving it, so I'm not going to give it. You know, that's usually a thing. So this says, my brother, peace and joy I offer you, that I may have God's peace and joy as mine. Again, the language, but you get it. So that's something to repeat, like just to say, hey, I'm going to offer you peace and joy, because then I may have God's peace and joy as mine also. It's like giving yourself permission to accept it by going through the act of giving and realizing that it's not decreasing in yourself. It actually is something, when you give it, you have more of it, they have more of it, they feel more than they're able to give. It's just common sense, right? But this lesson really says, like, really reflect on it and take an action. Reflect on how you feel like you've been withholding to others, and therefore, why do I feel like I can't receive? And then take an action of giving and see it in action. See how it grows. See how you feel. Like, did you feel like a piece of pie was taken from you? No, probably not. It's beautiful. And how does that relate to the Spirit of God hovered over the face of the waters? You know how it relates? I feel like that the void of potential, where like there was nothing before something, right? So let's just say God's essence was just hovering somewhere in a void. I picture the face of the ocean, like where it's so quiet and there's nothing there but like your awareness looking out over this, as if you're a observer in this story. No, we weren't made alive yet, but so let's just say God's hovering, being like, really God is creation. So there's this creation potential they talk about that's just like in a void. It's just pure potential. It's like Schrodinger's cat of like, is it alive? Is it dead in there? It's both are possibility. That's the point of that thought experiment, I believe. It's like all potentials exist, and that's what God is. It's just pure potential creation. God isn't a personified, it has no human qualities. God is God. It's like bigger, like I can't even comprehend it. And we've got to be okay not being able to comprehend things. It's okay to not know. It's okay to struggle with that friction of trying to personify something that is beyond all personification. Like there's a friction, right? Because our human mind just does not have the capacity to imagine nothingness, to imagine the absence of something. Isn't that wild? And it kind of hurts viscerally. It's like, oh, but it's like by grappling with that friction, oh, it's like that hum of pure potential. It's like you're right on the verge of birthing something, and it feels hard and so good at the same time. So I challenge you to go there. Like every time you personify God, strip it away, personify, strip it away, until all you're left with is God. Not even the visual of an ocean, just like trying to picture at the absence of everything, like a void. And even that is hard because I feel like in my mind it's got to have a boundary. Like it's got to be this sphere, like a black hole. No, it's even more than that. It's like my mind can't go like, what? And it hurts. And yet the beauty comes with like, what is God then? If God is hovering in this void, and God isn't personified with a figure or a shape or a texture or any qualities other than potential creation. God is potential creation, hovering there in the void, being like, I'm going to birth something, but why? Love is the why. What is love? I feel like love is gravity. I've talked about that. So God was like, I just want to birth things that are held together by something. What is that? Oh, gravity. What is gravity? Love. Like this potential was birthed out of love. Like the love of wanting things to come into connection and relation, because everything in our world is like held together by something. Gravity, love. Oh, wow. That's not what this lesson was really about. Or was it? So, lesson 105, God's peace and joy are mine. What else is there? That's it. Okay, I gotta go. I'm tripping myself out. Bye.